This page was created to teach Black history. Unfortunately, the American educational system was designed to exclude our real historical account, so we are here to dismantle it. It's time to enlighten those of us who have been kept in the dark. I am a Black man who didn't know enough about my own history, so I began to dig deeper and do my own research. Black history is American history, so I want people of all races and cultures to join together to learn our history as one. Here, I will share all of my findings. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe to Teaching Black History. The Story of Claudette Colvin. Claudette was born Claudette Austin in Birmingham, Alabama on September 5th, 1939, to Mary Jane Gadsden and C.P. Austin. When Austin abandoned the family, Gadsden was unable to financially support her children, so Colvin and her sister, Delphine, were taken in by their great aunt and uncle, Mary Ann and Q.P. Colvin. Colvin and her sister referred to the Colvins as their parents and took their name. When they took Claudette in when Colvin was 8 years old, the Colvins moved to King Hill, a poor Black neighborhood in Montgomery, Alabama, where she spent the rest of her childhood. 2 days before Colvin's 13th birthday, Delphine died of polio. Not longer after, in September 1952, Colvin started attending Booker T. Washington High School. Despite being a good student, Colvin had difficulty connecting with her peers in school due to grief. She was also a member of the NAACP Youth Council, where she formed a close relationship with her mentor, Rosa Parks. In 1955, Colvin was a student at the segregated Booker T. Washington High School in the city. She relied on the city's buses to get to and from school because her mother did not own a car. The majority of customers on the bus were African Americans, but they were discriminated against by its custom of segregated seating. She said that she aspired to be president one day. Colvin was a member of the NAACP Youth Council and had been learning about the civil rights movement in school. On March 2nd, 1955, she was returning home from school. She sat in the colored section about 2 seats away from an emergency exit. If the bus became so crowded that all the white seats in the front of the bus were filled until white people were standing, any African Americans were supposed to get up from nearby seats to make room for whites. Move further to the back and stand in the aisles if there were no free seats in that section. When a white woman who got on the bus was left standing in the front, the bus driver commanded Colvin and 3 other Black women in the row to move to the back. The other 3 moved, but another pregnant Black woman, Ruth Hamilton, got on and sat next to Colvin. The driver looked at the women in the mirror. He asked us both to get up, Miss Hamilton said. She was not going to get up, and that she had paid her fare, and that she didn't feel like standing, recalls Colvin. So I told him I was not going to get up either. So he said, "If you are not going to get up, I will get a policeman." The police arrived and convinced a Black man sitting behind the 2 women to move. She was forcibly removed from the bus and arrested, but the police still refused to move. The police officer took her to the station, made sexual comments about her body, and took turns guessing her bra size throughout the ride. This event took place 9 months before the NAACP secretary, Rosa Parks, was arrested for the same offense. Colvin later said, "My mother told me to be quiet about what I did. She told me to let Rosa be the one. White people aren't going to bother Rosa. They like her." Colvin did not receive the same attention as Rosa Parks for a number of reasons. She did not have good hair, She did not fair skin. She was a teenager, and she got pregnant. She was convicted on all 3 charges in juvenile court. When Colvin's case was appealed, the Montgomery Circuit Court on May 6, 1955, the charges of disturbing the peace and violating the segregation laws were dropped, although her conviction for assaulting a police officer was upheld. On June 5, 1956, the United States District Court for the Middle District of Alabama issued a ruling declaring the state of Alabama and Montgomery's laws mandating public bus segregation as unconstitutional. State and local officials appealed the case to the United States Supreme Court. The Supreme Court affirmed the District Court decision on November 13, 1956. 1 month later, the Supreme Court declined to reconsider, and on December 20, 1956, the court ordered Montgomery and the state of Alabama to end bus segregation permanently. The Montgomery bus boycott was able to unify the people of Montgomery regardless of educational background or class. Colvin gave birth to a son, Raymond, in March 1956. Colvin left Montgomery for New York City in 1958 because she had difficulty finding and keeping work following her participation in the federal court case that overturned bus segregation. Colvin stated she was branded a troublemaker by many in her community. She withdrew from college and struggled in the local environment. Claudette landed a job in 1969 as a nurse's aide in a nursing home in Manhattan. She worked there for 35 years, retiring in 2004. While living in New York, she had a second son, Raymond Colvin, who died in 1993 in New York of a heart attack at age 37. Claudette is still alive and living in New York at age 81.